Hello, people. In case there's anyone here. Hey, Seon. I have no idea whether the volume is right or whether it's well, annoying to listen to. I have no idea. So let me know if I should tune something up or something else down. Actually, I might change the music maybe. Well, let's go with this for now. I need like a 2-minute timer for my tea. Windows can do timers, right? Somehow, maybe. Oh no. Or maybe it can actually. Two minutes. Okay. Let's see. So my plan is to, well, I haven't looked at pull requests in a while, and I should probably do that because, well, we were supposed to bring them down as much as possible, number of the open ones down as much as possible before the next release, because the plan at some point was to make like a, well, last release in a while we rework some of the internals. But in order to do that, we need, well, to close some of the current open PRs, because otherwise we might break what they're supposed to add, and that would be annoying for everyone. So yeah. Maybe increase the scale for my browser scale a little bit. Okay. Let's see. How many of those do we have that are already approved? Actually, quite a few already. So I guess the first step is that we'll merge as much of those as possible. Some of those are not actually, I mean, they are approved, but they are not supposed to be merged. I approved this one. Ooh, wow. Okay. Thanks, Windows. Okay, now my tea is too warm to, or the cup at least is too warm to actually grab it. I have one of these annoying cups without thing to grip. So my cup is actually not meromorphic to a donut. Or homeomorphic? I think homeomorphic is probably more correct. Anyhow, Let's start with something. What are you guys in chat up to? Something exciting happening? Type-ins. Okay. Easy. Easy first one. Let's check whether the labels are correct. No, there's no label yet. So what's this? It's type-ins. It's like maintenance. Don't we have also a label for type-ins? Yes, we do actually. And this I think we can also improve. We can link the module. What is the module exactly? Object table. And past tense. Okay, now we have it. Great. Next PR. What's the number now? 58. Okay. I'd like to get down to like 50 or so. That would be great. But that's probably too ambitious. That I've actually seen already, I think. Let's quickly look at it again and maybe look at the documentation because that's the thing that changes here mainly. Oh, that's cute. Sometimes I really think the default formatting that we use for our code is well, annoying. This is one of these examples. I wouldn't really put that in. I wouldn't really format it in this way, but well. The code formatter does what it wants to do, I guess. Mm-hmm. Okay. Counterclockwise in the other direction, I guess. Yeah. Sweet. Ah. Ooh. Little bit too hot still. Mm-hmm. Hey, Kilakoda. Do you have to be worried about being banned on the Manim server now? I promise to behave. There's a Ratate. She's almost built like the Pokemon, but not quite. Oh, where is that in the code? Ratate. Seems fine otherwise. This function transforms each point by moving along a spiral to its destination. Parameters angle, the angle each point traverses, axis, the axis of rotation. Return type is callable. Looks fine to me. I mean, to be quite honest, I feel it's a bit weird that all of these actually return a callable, but then again, it makes sense, sort of. Because you want the callable, the function to always have the same. Oh yeah, that's a similar spiral. It's the one I used recently in my video. Did that exist before, or is this new? Spiral platform. Oh no, that existed before. Good to know. Could have used that. Is the loudness of the music and my voice, is the ratio between it, is this okay for you guys, or should I change something? I'm always worried that either music is too quiet or too loud, or need some proper way of testing. I could open my stream actually and just check myself. Music quieter. Gotcha. Something like that, maybe? Thanks. So spiral path, okay. We've seen the example. At the documentation. Simplest path function. Oh yeah, the straight point thingy. Yep, it's cute. I really like these animations here. I think the way the example is formatted sort of blows this out of proportion, because in the end that's not that, well, there's not that much going on here, but well, it is how it is, as they say. Yeah, I guess otherwise this is fine. Simplest path function, each point in the set goes in a straight path toward its destination. Goes in a straight path toward or towards? Any opinions? Any natives? Yeah, I'd say towards too, I think. Wait, where's the... Do I have to do something here? No. I don't want... Sorry for blinding all of you. No errors, okay. If I added S... Okay, can apparently put it either way. Yeah, okay, go away. To be able to put in an example of the light ray animation that grants us in the video of minute physics. Can you link the video? I'm not sure I know which one you're talking about. And it might also be that it's that the example uses something specific to OpenGL rendering, which then only works in Grant's version of the library. But I can take a look if you want to. Wait, can you actually link something, or is my spam thing? Will it be angry at you? Try if you find a link to the video, try linking it, and yeah, sure, no worries. Try linking it, and if you get a timeout first for posting a link, I'll manually undo that. Ah yeah.
You get.
So that's the video. Let me quickly.
You guys know Henry from Minute Physics, right? Well, he and I just made a video on a certain quantum mechanical topic, Bell's inequalities.
It's a really mind-warping topic that not enough people know about, and even though it's a quantum thing, it's based on...
Do you have a timestamp or something like that? Mute the video. Yeah, maybe. Not going to 6 minutes. Let me see.
And this ket over here represents a unit vector in the vertical direction. If the light is vertically polarized, meaning the electric field is wiggling purely in the up and down direction, its equation might look like this, where the horizontal component is now 0, and the vertical component is a cosine with some frequency, amplitude, and a phase shift. Now, if you have two distinct waves,
You mean
two
these?
ways of
These
wiggling
wiggly
through space
things?
over time that solve Maxwell's equations,
Ah.
then adding both of these together gives another valid wave. at least in a vacuum. That is, at each point in time, add these
That
two
shouldn't be
vectors
specific
tip
to
to tail
OpenGL.
to get a new vector.
It should work
Doing this
out
at
just
all
fine
points
in
in
the
space and
default
all
library.
points
The
in
one
time
thing that
gives a new valid
sorry.
solution.
I'll mute Grant while while I'm talking. The one thing that we used to have troubles with, or that sometimes bugs out a little bit, is working with the 3D version of Arrow. But if you're satisfied with the 2D version, it should actually be not. Yeah, exactly. The arrowhead. This is the one that. Yeah. I I keep merging pull requests that fix the arrowheads, but the problem still persists in some unfortunate way. I have no idea. I should maybe look at it properly at some point. But yeah, I think this is doable. For the documentation, I mean, in 2D, we can do something in 2D, I think. The problem with 3D usually is that it takes a lot of render time in our documentation. And we only have we currently have a limit. I mean, we could increase it, but yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should. I think it would be a very nice example because it illustrates nicely like some fancy animation with arrows, and we don't have a lot of those actually at the moment, I think. Oh, not grab random stuff on my desk. Wait a moment. Put back the music. I can't remember whether there was another PR for the arrowheads currently. Let's see. Yeah, no, but there's a PR for the grow arrow. Because grow arrow currently does not work properly. And I think the animation that appears in the video is some sort of grow arrow stuff animation. Arrows are weird. Or at least the implementation of arrows is weird in Manim. Maybe it's not that weird actually, but everything is complicated. There were efforts at some point to rework the entire tippable, so all the objects that can have a tip and an arrow tip added to them. Yeah, exactly. It's a line with a tip attached to it. There were efforts at some point to make the implementation of this tippable class a bit easier, but unfortunately that has stopped. But I think Hydrobeam has mentioned that they wanted to pick this up again, or someone. Maybe it's Citrus Munch. One of those two, I think, mentioned that they would want to pick it up again. Yeah, anyhow, this doesn't look like it's going somewhere. Well, anyhow. But yeah, let me quickly finish this review and then we can go on. Where were we actually? Did I not look up toward versus towards some at some point? I feel like I had that open.
Now, if you have two distinct ways of wiggling through.
Sorry. I clicked that, didn't I? Did I then decide that I... Ah, it's an US versus UK thing. I see. Okay. We use US spelling in our documentation mainly, right? Yeah, Australia, sure. I mean, we spell color with just O, so I guess this goes to US as well, which means toward is okay. Yeah, I mean this maybe this is already not really productive anymore. Okay, so there was just this one comment. Excellent work. Just found one more typo. Will commit the suggestion myself and then merge this. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's go. Commit. Ratate. Rotate. Commit. Done. What's happening in the Manim Discord right now? Well, anyhow. Okay, this looks good, I think, more or less. The documentation rendered correctly before, so it will render correctly now as well, I'm sure. So we can just merge this. And we need to update the branch anyways. The music knows what it has to do. Now I need to wait for the next tense part to do the next review. Okay. No, I'll just do the next approved review. Those tend to be easy. I think I approved it already. Yes, and I said we would merge it, so let's do it. Lovely. I do trust our test framework for that. But I think this change here, I can remember reviewing that. That was nothing critical. Just checks whether r is greater than 0 before dividing, which is, well, actually quite smart. Ah, well. Okay. Merge this. We merge this. Question mark, yes. Should be merged. As soon as the pre-commit CI is done complaining. But actually I hope not complaining at all. But why should it? Nothing changed. What's the next one? Maybe keep the GitHub tab. Oh yeah, now it merged. Nice. Okay. Approved. Ah, yes. The apply matrix. Yes. Ah, did we check the labels for the last PR? I think we didn't. Which one was that? I can just click here. This one. Labels, bug fix. Are we freezing the release after January's release? Well, I'd sort of like to do that. The question is whether we are done by start of the beginning of January, or whether we like work together at some point, because I'm probably still busy until like January 3 or maybe January 10 actually. So I'm not sure how much I can work on the release until my other deadline is done. So it might be that we like want to push closing more pull requests before we actually start freezing, which could mean that we do like an additional release in the middle of the month after we've merged, and then we're freezing, something like that maybe. Not too clear right now. We should talk about that soon. And I should actually also fix this. Fixed zero division error in the 3 dimensions module. Is 3 dimensions actually in Mobject? Module structure is so... Yes, it's so broken. Save. Done. Okay. Back to reviewing. So this one. Let's fix the title first. Added about point keyword argument for to class apply matrix. So what happens here? Let's check it out. I've not looked at this before. Okay, there's some docstring formatting that we can still improve. Let's maybe look also at the documentation. Wait, where is this? The animation transform thingy. Okay. So we open the render documentation. We open animations, transform, apply matrix, I think it was. Yes. Okay, this doesn't look so bad. Some full stops are missing. We can fix that easily. We can fix that easily. Let's do it. Applies a matrix transform to an object. Full stop. The matrix transform. Actually, I would like to say this is the transformation matrix. Full stop. Do we actually use full stops there? I'm not fluent enough in our documentation format. Animation is probably a bad module to look this up. Let's look here. Yeah, okay, we use full stops. The object, okay, that's fine. About point, the origin point for the transform defaults to origin. Let's make that code as well with full stop. Further keyword arguments that are passed to apply point to function. This link should maybe work actually. Yes. Yes, that's fine. Okay. Wait, but what was that in the documentation earlier? There are 2 more sentences somewhere. Did I miss those? Wait, what? Am I blind? I'm getting spammed by pipeline failure emails or pipeline aborted emails. Lovely. I am actually confused now. Where is this text coming from? Am I... Wait, what? $23.88. What was it called? Transform. Wait, what? This text isn't here. Wait. What kind of New Year's joke is this? What? Oh, I understand. I understand what happens. But that means that that's the same. That's the same in the live documentation then. No, actually, I want to transform. Apply method has this weird text, and our class is inheriting from apply method, which we can see maybe from here. Apply method, where is it? So something like fade to color should have this weird text as well, because yes, the default behavior is that yes, the docstring of the init method gets appended to the docstring of the class, because we almost never have docstrings for the init methods. It's pretty rare for us to have that. And what actually happens here is, because these methods here, the fade to color and whatever, these classes here, they probably don't have their own init method, which means that they directly inherit the parent method, and that comes with the docstring. So this means that for all of these classes, regardless of whether or not they have their own class docstring, as long as they don't have a different init docstring, these two paragraphs will be propagated everywhere. It would be fixed if we moved the apply methods init docstring to the class. Yes. I honestly believe that. I could. Can also make a prediction whether it actually will work. Let's try. I'll finish this PR and then we'll try. You can bet your beans in the meantime. Okay, so where were we? Right, this here. So this, and this we have fixed. These seem fine. Yeah. Thanks for your contributions. Just added some minor doc string formatting suggestions. Will apply them myself and then merge this. Actually, this doesn't need to be in parentheses. Submit. One, two, three. Minor docstring formatting changes. Alrighty. This is well, a new feature actually. Or maybe it's more an enhancement. It's always a bit difficult to distinguish between those two. And yeah, nothing else. Yes, I was actually quite disappointed that it stopped so suddenly. I should maybe change to Undertale playlist. The last one I've been using, yes. So this here has been the playlist of before. And now I've changed to this one. Okay. Merge. Wait. Yes, merge. I actually did something else that's well funny. I have one. Well, I'm actually extremely lazy, but I like to spend time on extremely irrelevant stuff. And one thing that's really irrelevant is, well, producing emotes and stuff for my Twitch, because I don't stream that often actually. But I do have one animated emote slot, and wait, I'm being spammed. I do have one animated emote slot. Wait, why does it not? I thought there should be auto completion. Should my own channel be somewhere here? That's weird. Wait, where are my own emotes? Wait, why does it not work? Oh, it does work. I just needed to reload chat. I really underestimated how tiny, I think it's 28 by 28 pixels is the very small resolution of the animated GIF is, so you can't really even see the laser beams shooting from eyes. But well, I also did this with Manim, because that's literally the only thing I know how to use for animating stuff. So yeah, this exists now. I only half regret it. Okay, we merged this, right? Okay, so now it's time to see. Yeah, that's unfortunate actually. I wanted to look into how I can make that available for easier with one of these thingies. Twitch extensions. I think I can edit somehow. Okay, so this is actually a boring prediction, but well, it is how it is. But at least you believe. Let's see. We have to try. Fix. What was that apply method? So we should probably actually just rewrite that. This should be moved here. And then we should probably just make this a bit prettier. Animates object by applying a method. Parameters. Wait, is it double line or is it? I don't even know that anymore. I think it's just a single line, right? Yes. Method and args and keyword arguments. The method of wait, what? Oh, Oh, this actually... That's... Shouldn't this be deprecated? Yeah. You know what I think is weird about that? Usually the first argument of animations is supposed to be the object you're animating, and for these here, it's sufficient to pass the method, because from the method you can get back to the object, and this is what actually happens here. You just have the method as the first argument and then recover the object with method itself. I find this weird, but well, this is... I'm not surprised. But well, I'll leave it like that right now and just fix the docstring, because I have no energy for properly deprecating it. I'm not sure whether we should actually fully deprecate it, because sometimes it might be useful to have the class around still. Can't think of something that couldn't be done with the animate syntax itself right now, but it's also late here, so... The method of an object. The method that will be applied in the animation. And maybe we will add a note block, or just edit as a comment. Note that this animation only the method needs to be passed to this object, to this animation, not the object. It is not required to pass the corresponding object. I don't know why I sometimes fix typos by deleting the entire word and trying to write it again. It's not like that's faster. The method that will be applied in animation, okay. And then we have args and keywords. And what happens with those? The keyword arguments get passed to the animation, and the arguments get passed to the method. Okay. Further positional. Any positional arguments that will to be passed to the when applying the method. Any keyword arguments passed to transform. Relies on the fact that the object... I think that's also a useful comment. Furthermore, this method, this animation class only works if the method returns the object. The modified object. Okay. Nice. Let's see whether I can still build the documentation. it should be enough to build it without rendering the stuff. Make HTML O equals minus T skip manim. My T is empty. I'll quickly fetch some water while this is rendering. Oh no, errors. Oh, those actually... Yes, actually just warnings. The last few might actually be my fault. Okay. Okay. Managed to do it finally. What happens if I say open? We'll find out. Build HTML index. Yeah, that's what I was worrying about. Explorer.exe build HTML index. Can it do that? Yes. It just ignores the argument. Great. Exactly what I wanted. Let me quickly navigate to where I want, and then we can continue looking. Code, where is it? There. Manim docs build HTML index. So what did we change? The animate stuff. Let's see whether it worked. Reference manual, animations, animation. No, transform. So apply method. Okay, this looks kinda okay. Yep, and now we can check fade to color or something like that. Yeah, and that looks better. Stuff is gone. It seems like you saved your beans. So let me distribute this again. Prediction. Yep. Congratulations. Okay. Let's leave that open maybe. Yeah, and I'll commit it actually because and submit a PR. Where am I? I changed already to new branch. Okay. Git add commit add. Commit. Moved docstring of apply method from init to class. Pushed, and we open a new PR. Documentation. Tiny changes. Rewrote the docstring of apply method and moved it from apply method dot init to the class itself to avoid propagating the docstring to child classes. Yes, there should be a link to the documentation, but we can only add that after we know the number. I mean, I could guess the number, probably not so hard right now, but I'll edit that. TBD. No further comments. Improved docstring of class apply method and fixed propagated docstring. Removed. All right. There we go. 2403. Edit. 2403. 2403. And what was the link? That's probably a bit too much guesswork. I'll use it from a different PR maybe. Nope. Transform. apply method. This, but in different. 2403. 2403. All right. Ah, thank you. That's a quick review. Ah, of course, I once again did not manage. What does it want this time? A new line. I think I don't know. Since we've introduced the pre-commit bot, I've never managed to write a pull request where the bot didn't add like one weird commit. Yeah, black is. I think it's because I disagree. I simply disagree with some of the things that black wants to do, even though they are probably PEP 8 compliant. I think the space after the class is probably PEP 8. Strings. No. Where is docstring formatting? Is this not? Don't they say anything about the relation between docstring? Ah, docstring convention. Wait. 257. They don't say anything about leaving a space or a blank line. Well, anyhow, not that important actually. It is how it is. Let's merge. Black has certain opinions, which is fine, and I guess for a formatter, for an automatic formatting tool, stuff like that is supposed to have an opinion. I just simply disagree with its opinion sometimes. And well, it is how it is. All right. Maybe we can do one or two more. Before I get too tired. This is already approved. Ah, yes. I think I can remember looking at it once. This seems perfectly fine. Especially because Hydro Beam and Iced Coffee already took a look at this. Actually, I've noticed these files as well, so I think it's fine to... Wait. What's in our git ignore currently? Sort of wondering why these are not... Because here I have these coverage files, but they seem to be... Oh, that's already here. 2 years ago. .44 and 45. So actually we will add a suggestion to remove these two. Duplicate of lines. What did I just say? 40 something? 44, 45. Smile. Okay, and then this resolves their conversation. I'll just look at stuff that they are discussing. Okay, but all other conversations seem to be either outdated or resolved anyway, so that should be fine. Thank you for your contribution. I checked, or it ignore. It already has the 2 lines you proposed to add here, so I'll remove them from your PR again. I think they were mentioning that they just want to be careful or something like that. Remove, duplicate entries in git ignore. There we go. This has been resolved as far as I can tell. Maybe I'll do a quick search for Z something. Yeah, okay. This has all been changed to axis. Okay, that's fine. So this is resolved, and this I just resolved with the commit. Oh. Did I break something just now? What? Since when are we running into a API rate limit? this failed as well already. Okay, I guess there's not much we can do about that. Oh, but some still pass. That's weird. Maybe it's really close with our limit. But the thing that actually confused me more is that what was I just looking at? This. Why did even the dependent issue? I'm wondering whether this is something that happened for some reason. I'll quickly check this out. Sorry, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll quickly change scene. No leaking of private stuff. I can't really see anything that's too relevant. It's odd because I usually do things like that, and I've never run. We never ran into the API rate limit. We might have run into the thousand requests. How? I can show you the screen. There was nothing interesting in our private stuff. This really confuses me. I have no idea why we would run into the 1000 API requests. Is this something? Who else is pushing stuff? This doesn't have a. And Chris's renderer stuff is also. Maki is also. I think that's on his own account for now. No, I actually don't know where 1,000 requests would come from. That seems ridiculous. Even if we say we need like 10 requests per test run. Oh, I mean, actually. Wait, how many? But how did we not run into this more often? So we have 9 times. Is each of those a separate request? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If each of those steps requires a separate API call, then it's 17 times 9 per workflow run. And then it's not so unlikely that we hit 1,000. Especially if we do some commits and stuff in quick succession. Still weird. Yeah, I mean, it sort of works. But did something change recently regarding our... I can remember that something changed maybe in this PR. This adds the Python 3.10 to our pipeline. I'm not sure I really understand why, whether there's actually something different to before. Well, we can observe it. Let's look at the other approved ones. Let me try to update this. Then we'll see what happens. If they fail, they should fail fast. Okay, this seems to work now again. Yeah, I'm sure it failed in the install cache. Install and cache step earlier. Fixed it. Great. Yeah, let's merge this. Label is set and other text should be set fill by value. Which method is that? 3D Vim object. Set fill by value is changed for this guy. Okay, so the title should be made meth dot 3D VM object dot set fill by value. Support gradients on different along different axes. 3D VM object. Is that right? Checking once again because I'm paranoid. No, it's actually not right. It's surface. I missed that. Surface. Now it's correct. Great. One more. Let's close some stuff. Yeah, this stuff. Yeah. Skip that for now. I've never worked with MyPy, so I'm not sure about this. I think this is something I want to think about, maybe. Let's do like one or two more. Daryl has started to review this, or has reviewed this. Trailing commas. Ah, yeah. Okay, so that action is required here. Not ready yet. Remove imports from now non-existent OpenGL. Yes, those. I mean, to be quite honest, I think we can also just remove the OpenGL text and OpenGL tech files. It's not like they are imported somewhere. Or are they? OpenGL object, OpenGL 3 dimensions, surface, vectorized object, shader, utils. No. The OpenGL text and tech files are not aren't actually imported anywhere anymore. And to be quite honest, I forgot that we had them still around. I'd should probably see whether Grant made any improvements to his implementations of the. There has been a new implementation of the tech object that I wanted to port over. But maybe just as a separate class and not as a drop-in replacement of our tech implementation. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm getting sidetracked. So I think the correct response here should be I think so. What are these files? OpenGL text and tech. When running from manim.opengl import star c manim opengl init. the label constructor parameter. Wait, what does this do? Oh, there actually are weird artifacts when text objects scale up. Weird. Okay, while working on 2387, the bar chart. I realized that it included an X-level constructor parameter for the class. I thought there was no real reason this should be unique to bar chart, so I decided to number line. Most self for changing. Now is an odd check. Strings passed to add labels be automatically completed tech and not the default math tech. Added mob class. Default is math tech. Added label constructor. Removed coordinate systems pi. Create label tech. Updated uses. Okay. Okay. With font size 1 there are fragments. Okay. See. I mean, this seems. The number line has a label constructor, which is a by default math object. Gets stored. Yeah, that's more. I like that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and if it's not a Vim object, then it returns the label constructor with argument label tech. Yeah, looks good to me. The only thing I'm wondering is whether this here doesn't need any keyword arguments passed. I mean, I guess you can modify them object afterwards. It's not like this is a breaking change. And if it is, it's not a very serious one. Yeah, I see. That's why that weird check is there. This seems very useful. I like it. These things still work. The tests passed, so I guess there's no breaking change with the labels. There is not a lot of change in documentation. This looks good. This looks good. This all looks fine. Okay. This line maybe is a little bit long, but I mean the docstring is private, so it shouldn't matter anyways. Let's add one nitpick suggestion. Whoop. I actually wanted to say breaking the line and minor improvement to formatting. I'm pretty sure this doesn't work though. There are probably lots of misformatted docstrings like that all throughout the library. Oops. No, I did not want to unstar the library. Implementation. It's good to me. Just added some minor suggestions for docstring formatting. Good job. Good job. Wait, what? to the object of the animation, and there's no way to add others. The question is whether this should maybe be merged with the begin stuff. Oh, interesting. There was a print in the library. Fun. Self.moving objects is usually the list that contains the animation, the objects that are added during the animation. So what's happening here actually? Interesting. So the documentation moves down here to the add vertices, I think. Which passes all the, yeah. I think this seems like a good approach. I'll have to read this a bit more carefully though. Yeah, exactly. All the fade in stuff has to be an introducer then. I'll leave a comment for now. I won't approve this right now. I'm a bit too tired for that, but I'll leave a comment. I like the semantics of this approach. Filler and the new method for preparing The scene seems rather useful. I'll have to think more about this and how it interacts with it. The already present machinery for adding objects, moving objects, stuff, and how's the method called? How is it called? Animation. Which method does the thing? I think it's actually scene. Add objects from animations. The moving objects and the add objects from animation stuff. But in general, this looks very clean. I'll be back after reading this in more detail. I think this is fine. Okay. I'll self-request a review and I'll add labels. This is an enhancement, definitely an enhancement. And I think this is something that would be good to add before we start refactoring. Because it could be some sort of intermediate step between merging the begin or adding the scene to the begin method as well, and then we can merge this new prepare scene method and the cleanup from scene method and the finish method, because these are sort of similar. But yeah, maybe I see already why that wouldn't be a great idea. I think I need to think about this a little bit more. In general, this is pretty cool though. Okay. Maybe one easy one. Ah, yeah. Yes, this was great. This I can remember this. So this is for documentation. To make sure that people that install the tiny tech version of LaTeX, that they install the proper stuff that they need for rendering. Exactly. Okay. We can merge this. I think this is fine. There's nothing too exciting about this. This did just change the documentation, right? Yeah, okay. Then let's go merging. And tack. Okay, so what happened in the Discord in the meantime? There's some in... Wait, what happened here? Oh, yeah. What's this? 3D scene at fixed in frame object. The decimal number is still being affected by camera view. Change its sub-objects every time, causing it to out of date. Every frame. Yes, both of that would probably work. What else do we have here? The decimal numbers don't get updated, what? Because let me guess, the decimal number is not attached to... Yeah. This is not attached to the thing, yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, true. I actually thought that vectorized object. No. Is there no specialized implementation of become? No. Okay. Yeah, then the sub objects don't update, and then everything is confusing. I think I would maybe change the way the updaters are passed in this example. But practically, I think it might make more sense to, well, reconsider what the role of become. That's true. What it actually does. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, cool. Good to see some people looking through stuff here. Okay, we managed to merge some of them. At least we're closer to 50 than to 60. It's something. I mean, there are probably one or two more easy ones that I could check right now, but I think I'm getting a bit too tired. So yeah. Let's continue this battle another day, I guess. Yo, so one more fun thing I've added is I've tried to add actually is custom channel point rewards, and there should be some of those. I've tried it earlier, but I'm not sure whether I've bricked it, maybe because I changed some stuff in my OBS around earlier. If I try to get that.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
That was loud on many channels, actually. It's very surprising. Did you guys hear that? I have no idea why that came over the wrong speakers. I think I'll have to check that out in, well, peace and quiet. Anyhow, thanks guys for hanging out. I did enjoy this. I hope this was not too boring. Probably was a little bit. Yeah. Maybe I won't take like another month until the next stream. I hope so, at least. See you soon again, guys. Bye-bye.